वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Namaste everyone. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. In today's session, we are going to review the Nama Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vinirbhartsita Kacchapi. The entire line is one Nama and must be recited in full without any pause. Now, when we darshan goddess in temple or when we do our prayers at home, we only see her Soundaryam. But for the very first time, we are going to hear the goddess speak. The presiding deities for Vak, Vasinyadi Vak Devatas themselves are going to help us understand how sweet the voice of Sri Lalitambika is. So in this Nama, we are going to enjoy the Madhuryam. Nija Sallapa Madhuryam, the sweet voice of Sri Lalitambika, the Vak Madhuryam. Let's first review the components in this Nama. Nija. Nija means, here the term Nijam refers to original, like by nature. How is Ambal's voice? How it's well formed. Sahaja Gunam. She has this guna of speaking to everybody very sweetly. That's her nature. That's how she is. That she's an embodiment of Karuna. So that Sahaja Gunam, that is the Nijam, the truthful form of her is being happy and pleasant and sweet always. See that aspect is the Nijam, the truthful aspect is considered in this component Nija. Sallapa means conversation. While conversing, how it is? It's Madhuryam. Nija Sallapa Madhuryam. When she speaks, when she has a conversation, her vak is Madhuryam. Madhuryam means very, very sweet voice. Vasinyadi Vak Devatas are helping us understand how sweet Ambal's voice is. Ambal's voice, words are so sweet, Madhuryam, that we want to hear her speak again and again and again. See, when somebody speaks, we always have that very sweet voice. We will say like, please keep continuing, please keep talking. We say that because we are attracted to that madhuryam of her voice. So that's the aspect here. Madhurya, Nija Sallapa Madhurya, Vinibhartsita. That means her voice outshines everything else. Any other sound that comes, it is outshined by her sweet voice. Here, Ambal's voice is so sweet that Goddess Saraswati herself feels shy. Who is Goddess Saraswati? She is the Vak Devata for learning. Goddess Saraswati herself feels shy. That's why this term is used. Vinirbhartsita. Vinirbhartsita means Ambal's voice outshines the sweetness of even Goddess Saraswati's Vak. And it also has a very beautiful term, Kacchapi. Kacchapi means the veena used by Goddess Saraswati. Kacchapi, Kachapam is also used to refer a tortoise. Here, usually the drum of the veena, here if you see, it's like that shell of this tortoise. So Kachapam means tortoise. Veena has this drum that is kind of in the shape of a tortoise. So it's called Kacchapi. Saraswati Devi's Veena is called Kacchapi. So the Nama Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vinirbhartsita Kacchapi means Ambal's speech, the Vak, is naturally so sweet that even a friendly utterance of one word threatens to exceed the sweetness of the Veena Nadam played by Goddess Saraswati's Veena Kacchapi. That is the summary of this Nama. Now, there is a very beautiful Sloka that tells us more details about this Kacchapi Nama and Veena in general. Let's first look at this term Kacchapi. The Shloka says, Vishwavasosa Brihati Tumburostu Kalavati Sa Naradasya Mahati Saraswatyatsu Kacchapi. That Shloka kind of tells us the different types of Veena that is used by different divine entities. So, for example, it says Vishwavasosos Brihati. there is a Gandharva, and there are a lot of Gandharvas, and of all the Gandharvas, there is a king, the Raja of all the Gandharvas. His name is Vishwavasu. He has a veena which is called as Brihati. So that's why first it says Vishwavasosa Brihati. The name of the veena is Brihati. Then Tumburu. Tumburu's veena is called Kalavati. Tumburu is a Gandharva who sings very sweetly. So Tumburu's veena is called Kalavati. And we always know that sage Narada carries a veena. So this says Naradasya Mahati. Narada's veena is called Mahati. Like that, Goddess Saraswati holds a veena that is called as Kacchapi. Like we saw this part of the veena that looks like a kachapam, the back of the tortoise, right? That's why it's called Kacchapi, the literal name of it. It's usually a female tortoise that's called as Kachapam, Kacchapi, but there is great significance more than just a literal reference to the term Kacchapi. There are very many specialities of this Veena Kacchapi. Some of those specialities are that in general when we see Veena, in this part there are a few strings, whereas Kacchapi is said to have nearly 1,000 strings. Imagine holding a veena with that many strings, then only we can let alone think about trying to play it, then trying to melodiously play it. How will it be? That kind of a veena is called Kacchapi, and that Kacchapi is played very melodiously by Goddess Saraswati herself. Okay. Now the other speciality of the veena Kacchapi is that in general, when we play the veena, we can only hear the swara dvani of Sarigama Padanisa. So when we go and touch the veena string and we just do one string with that in the tantri, we will get one kind of like a dvani from that, right? That is all an ordinary veena can play. Whereas Goddess Kacchapi's veena, Goddess Saraswati's Veena, that Kacchapi, it not only can play the dhvani of the swaras, but it also utters the akshara. It's called Matruka Varnam. So if there is a swaram and the sahityam, right? The sahityam's matruka varnam, the aksharam also comes out as the shabdam in Kachapi's veena instead of just only the dhvani that we hear. Imagine how will it be, right? And Goddess Saraswati is holding and playing that veena. Certain veena needs so much upasana that it can only be played by certain divines. Not the veena that we play, the veena instrument itself is considered to be very auspicious. Now on top of that, imagine the veenas held by Narada, imagine the veena held by Tumburu and Goddess Saraswati herself. Then those celestial veena, Goddess Saraswati's Kacchapi veena is said to closely resemble a parrot's voice. That's how it is sweet. So let's come to this nama, Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vinibhartsita Kacchapi, which means Ambal's voice is sweeter than this Kacchapi veena. That's what the summary of this nama is. Nija Sallapa Madhurya. Ambal's voice is naturally Madhuryam that it outshines the Kacchapi Veena's Nadam. So it's so sweet. So to celebrate the sweetness of this voice, the Vak Madhuryam, Acharya Mukar in Muka Panchashati describes a story. The story is how Manmata, who is Manmata? Manmata is the one who stirs everybody's mind. But that Manmata himself is now completely drawn to the sweet voice of Amba. He thinks that there is a parrot hiding in Ambal's throat. That is why the voice is so sweet. So Manmata comes up with a clever plan to catch the parrot that is speaking from her throat. Says this shloka from Muka Panchashati. Acharya Mukha in Arya Shatakam has this shloka that goes, Kalamanjula Vag Anumita Kalapanjara Shuka Grantha Outkanthyat Ambaradana Ambaram Te Bimbapalam Sambararina Nestam. Kalamanjula Vag. Kala Manjula. Manjula means Adyanta sweetness, right? Very, very sweet. What is sweet? Kala Manjula Vak. Ambal's Vak is Adyanta sweet it seems. So the Sambararina is Manmata, is the other name for Manmata. Manmata has different names, and when we go through different shlokas in Saundarya Lahari and in Mukha Panchashati, it's always not called as Manmata. He is referred with different names for different things. So here, since Manmata killed the Asura Sambara, he is called Sambararina. That's why this sloka says Sambararina. So we can translate this to say, now Manmata is hearing this Atyanta sweet Manjula Vak of Sri Lalitambika. And what does he say? Kala Manjula Vak. He has heard it. Anumita. Anumita means now he's guessing. How is this? How is it possible that Ambal has this very sweet voice? I am thinking. Anumita means I am thinking, says Manmata. I am thinking. Kala Panjara Shuka. Panjara means a cage. In that cage, what is there? A shuka is there. Shuka means a parrot. So he thinks that Kala means throat. In this throat of Sri Lalitambika, in this cage of Lalitambika here, it looks like there is a parrot hiding here. Kala Manjura Shuka. Manmata is guessing that that is the reason why Sambal's voice is so sweet. How sweet is that? It is sweeter than Kacchapi, right? Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vak. Why is it so sweet? Because there is a parrot hiding inside this throat. Okay. So Sambararina Manmata has now come up with a plan. What is that plan? Utkantyat. Utkantam. Utkantam means he has a longing desire. What is the desire? Graha Utkantam. To catch. Graham means like how we have Chandra Graham, Surya Graham. That means to catch something. So his Utkantam his long desire is to catch this parrot that's hiding in Ambal's cage, right? So what did he do? He uses the same tactics that anybody would do to catch a parrot. What would we do to catch a parrot? In order to catch a parrot, one would use the favorite fruit, right? And if you show that favorite fruit to the parrot will immediately go and come out, right? Parrot will come to eat the fruit, and that time you can catch the parrot, right? So that's the same tactics that Manmata is using. So what did he do? With that great eagerness to catch the parrot that is hiding in Ambal's throat, Amba Radhana Ambaram. Amba in your lips. Radhana means in your lips. Okay. Or Amba in your lips. What does he do? Amba Radhana Ambaramte. What does he do? Bimba Palam Nyastam. Bimba Palam means this Bimba fruit. He keeps this Bimba fruit in the lips of Sri Lalitambika. Now what happened? Now seeing the lips having the bimba palam, what will happen? The parrot will come out of the throat to eat this bimba fruit, right? So at that time, if the parrot comes out of the throat to eat the bimba palam in the lips, then Manmata is planning to catch the parrot, says this shloka. See, Manmata is the one that rules all the beings and causes all kinds of emotions in all of us. That great Manmata's mind itself is now completely stirred and attracted to the sweet voice of Ambal's throat that's coming out of the Vaksthanam from here, and it is coming out, that speech. He wants to hear that Nija Sallapa Madhuryam that's coming out from this cage where there is a parrot, says this shloka in Mukha Panchashati. That tells us how enchanting Ambal's voice must be, that Manmada himself is trying all his tricks to make this parrot come out. In general, it is said that Ambal's voice is Omkara Panjara Shuki. That is the Omkara, the primary nada that's coming out of her throat. That's why it's called Shuki. The Shuki is the parrot. Panjara means the cage. So in her throat, it is believed that there is the Omkaranatha, the primordial sound, comes out of Ambal's divine throat, and that comes out as Vak from her lips, right? When the parrot comes out, it will come to eat the lips will open and the Vak will come out, right? So that's the That's the scene that's portrayed here in Arya Shatakam in Mukha Panchashati to say that the enchanting parrot is being vowed to come out to eat this bimba fruit that's as lips, so Manmata can catch that sweet voice of Sri Lalitambika. Now, next aspect of it, Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vinibhartsita Kacchapi. In our universe, what is considered to be very madhuryam that we know of, the sweetest nadam is known to come from musical instrument veena. Now, this is no ordinary veena that is being described in this nama. Vasinyadi Vak Devatas specifically says Kacchapi. They didn't just say veena here. They specifically say Kacchapi. That means this Veena Nadam is not played by any ordinary individual, but it is played by the Devata of learning herself, the Vak Devata. Goddess Saraswati herself is playing this Kacchapi Veena. Mhm. Now, this Nama says, Sri Lalitambika's spoken word is sweeter than even the music played by the goddess of learning herself. So, for the first time in this Nama, Vasinyadi Vak Devatas are going to help us hear the goddess speak. Now, in Meenakshi Pancharatnam, Acharya says, Goddess Meenakshi greatly enjoys listening to musical instruments. In Meenakshi Pancharatnam, Acharya specifically uses the padam Veena Venu Mridanga Vadya Rasikam. And especially Acharya lists three musical instruments in that shloka. Acharya lists Veena, which is the Veena. Venu. Venu means the flute. Mridangam. Mridangam is the other instrument, right? So he lists three instruments in the shloka in Meenakshi Pancharatnam. And Acharya says that goddess Meenakshi greatly enjoys when these musical instruments are played. And Acharya says, Veena, Venu, Mridanga, Vadya, Rasikam. Vadya means these instruments. Rasika means she greatly enjoys when these three instruments are played. So goddess Meenakshi, who is Sri Lalitambika herself, enjoys three instruments, Veena, Venu and Mridangam. Now, of these, in our Nama, we have the Veena, right? The Kacchapi that is being specified here. Let's look at the speciality of this Veena here. Of these three instruments, an artist can either play the flute or play the Mridangam alone. They cannot be singing and playing the flute, right? When you play the flute, imagine somebody playing the flute. They can only play the instrument flute. They can only play the instrument mridangam. Mridangam is like a dole, right? So they can only play the instrument, but they cannot sing. But of these three instruments, Veena is very special because when you play the Veena, your hands can play the Veena, and at the same time, with your mouth you can sing also. So that is one very speciality where the musician can both play the veena and sing the song along with it. That is why in Saundarya Lahari, Acharya says, Vipancha Gayanti. Vipancha means playing the veena, and then Gayanti. Gayanti is to sing. So Goddess Saraswati in this shloka, Acharya says, is playing the veena Kacchapi as well as singing. So that is the start of this shloka. Acharya is saying, so he's bringing before our eyes that Goddess Saraswati has this Kacchapi veena, and Vipancha, she has this veena that she's playing. Along with it, she's Gayanti. She's also singing. Who's singing? Goddess Saraswati herself. So Acharya here gives us a front row seat and takes us to a music concert that is happening in Lalitambika's Sabha. So we can also visualize that scene. Ambal Sabha is the divine chamber. Where is Ambal Sabha here? Where is he taking us to? He's taking us to the Chintamani Griham itself, Sri Lalitambika's Griham. And in that Sabha, Sri Lalitambika is happily seated in her Sabha in the Chintamani Griha. In the Chintamani Griham, all the Vak Devatas, Vasinyadi Vak Devatas, starting from Vasini, all the Vak Devatas are all sitting around her. Ambal is listening to the Veena Ganam played by Goddess Saraswati herself. See, generally, when we will enjoy music only when we are very relaxed, right? Then only we can enjoy the divinity of that music. So Acharya is describing that scene where Ambal is sitting in a very relaxed posture, and Ambal is surrounded by Vasinyadi Vak Devatas herself, the goddesses of the speech herself. In that, the goddess of learning herself, Goddess Saraswati, is playing the veena, and it's no ordinary person that's playing. It's Goddess Saraswati herself playing, and she's playing no ordinary veena. She's playing the Kacchapi, which has thousands of strings, and it can play the Dwani as well as the Aksharam. That is the scene that Acharya is bringing in front of our eyes. And Sri Kanchi Mahaswami says that just thinking about Ambal seated in this Vishranti state, like very relaxed state, and for us to visualize her as a Ananda Murti, a very happy, relaxed state, to listen to this music, just visualizing that itself will give us great Shanti, says Sri Kanchi Mahaswami. Acharya actually gives that as the first upasana palan of this scene that Acharya is portraying here in the Saundarya Lahari story. Now, in this Saundarya Lahari story, Vipancha Gayanti. So, Saraswati Mata is playing with her Kacchapi Veena as well as Gayanti. She is also singing while playing the Veena. What does Goddess Saraswati sing about? What is she singing about? Acharya says, Vividam Apadanam Pashupate. Vividam means very many, various glories of Apadanam. Apadanam means Uttama Charitram. Uttama Charitram of who? Pashupate. Pashupate is Lord Parameshwara. Goddess Saraswati knows that if we have to make Sri Lalitambika very happy, what is the topic that we should sing about that will make Sri Lalitambika very happy? Pashupati's topic, right? The glories, Apadanam, the various glories of Pashupati, of Lord Shiva, Lord Parameshwara himself. If we sing the glories of Parameshwara, Sri Lalitambika is twice happy, very, very happy. So Goddess Saraswati knows this very, very well. So she sings, she is playing the veena, Vipancha, Gayanti, she is singing. What is she singing? Vividam, various glories of what? Of the Uttama Charitras of Pashupati, Uttama Charitra of Lord Parameshwara, his glories. She's talking about singing and playing the glories of Parameshwara. Now, Acharya has given us a front row seat to this music concert where the presiding deity of Swaram and Sahityam herself, Goddess Saraswati herself, is playing the Kacchapi Veena in front of Sri Lalitambika. And while playing the Veena along with the Swaras from Sarigama Padanisa, Goddess Saraswati herself is also singing the divine Leelas of Parameshwara. So, Goddess is very, very pleased now. Okay, so now not just pleased, twice pleased. Why she is twice pleased? One, because Goddess Lalitambika likes Veena Ganam. We saw that, right? Veena Venu Mridanga Vadya Rasikam, right? So Veena Ganam is very favorite for her. That is the first reason. On top of that, the topic of Sangeetam is about her favorite consort, Lord Shiva. So Ambal is the greatest pativrata. So, hearing the Gana and the Leelas and the Uttama Charitra of Parameshwara, Ambal is twice happy. So now Goddess Lalitambika is very happy. She's immersed in this Sangeetam, in this concert that's going on. At that time, what did Ambal do? Chalita Sirasa. That means Siras means head. She's like nodding her head. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lord Parmeshwara did that. Yeah, he did that. Tripura Samhar. Yeah, he did that. Yeah. Hala Visham, for saving everybody, he just took it and just gobbled it for protecting everybody's sake. He took all the heat by himself. Everything Saraswati Devi is one after another, she's singing all the Uttama Charitra, and Sri Lalitambika is extremely happy. Yes, yes, and she's nodding the head, and like she's saying, Chalita Sirasa. Sirasa is nodding now to the rhythm of her Ghanam. And then what happens at that time? Tvaya arabde vaktum. Tvaya means you are. Arabde means beginning. Beginning to say something. Vaktum, vak means to speak. Right? So while hearing this Uttama Charitra, Sri Lalitambika is for the first time opening her mouth and speaking something. Okay, so this is the scene that Acharya is conveying, and Vasinyadi Vak Devatas are describing the same thing. That speech is going to come out. And then what at that time? What is Lalitambika doing now? Lalitambika is Nija Sallapa, well-formed words of appreciation. She's going to give well-formed, now enjoying this Gana, hearing from Saraswati Devi. Nija Sallapa Madhurya. Lalitambika opens her mouth and lovingly appreciates the Sangeetam and says, Sabash. Wow, wow, wow. Sadhu Vachane. Sadhu, sadhu. Just beginning to speak. Arabdha means beginning to speak. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God. You are that yes, exactly. That's the thing. Yes, yes. Parameshwara, he protected everybody. Yes, exactly what you're saying. She was just saying sadhu sadhu. Sadhu sadhu means like subhiksham, goodness for the world. Like sadhu sadhu. Yes, yes. Wow, wow, wow. How very beautifully, correctly you described. She was just arabde, beginning to speak. Now that sadhu vachane. Tvaya arabde vaktum. Ambal is beginning to speak that vaktum with that sadhu vachana. Gada Saraswati just heard that sadhu vachanam. All along for hours and hours, Saraswati Devi is playing her veena and singing on top of that, and she's seeing Ambal nodding her head. So Saraswati Devi is very happy now. See, if we are singing and if somebody is nodding their head and enjoying it, that will give us more motivation to sing more. So Saraswati Devi is very motivated to even sing and makes Lalitambika very, very happy. That's what Saraswati Devi was doing. Now that Ambal spoke just one word, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu vachanam. Something, a vachanam came out to say, Sabash, wow, wow, how beautifully you described it, says Ambal, very happily appreciating Saraswati Devi's Sangeetam. As soon as Saraswati Mata hears this sadhu vachanam, what happens? In this dramatic scene that Acharya is portraying for us. Vani. Vani is Saraswati. What did she do? Nichulayati. Vani, Nichulayati. Nichulayati means she's hiding. What is she hiding? Nijam Veenam, her Kacchapi Veena. She takes that Kacchapi Veena and she hides it. Nibrutam. How she hides it? Secretly hides it. And then what she do? She does. Cholena Nibrutam. She covers the Veena also. She takes the Veena, Kacchapi, she puts a cover on top of it and she secretly hides it. See, it's same as in our Nama, which says Vinibhartsita. Vinibhartsita means the Sadhu Vachanam that Ambal spoke to say, wow, what a beautiful song. That's all Ambal said, Sadhu Vachanam. One word, that Sadhu Vachanam from Ambal outshined the Veena Ganam. All along for hours, Saraswati Mata is singing and Goddess Saraswati reacts in wonder and she immediately closes the Veena. Veena is usually only closed at the end of the concert. But here, Nijam Veena Vani Nichulayati Cholena Nibrutam. That means Saraswati Mata immediately hides and secretly goes and closes her Veena to signify that the concert is over now. Saraswati Devi is done playing the Veena. She covers the Veena with the cloth to say that the constant instantly ended. Why did the constant instantly ended? Because Saraswati Devi heard Ambal's voice. And how was that voice? Nija Sallapa Madhuryam. So, hearing that Madhuryam, sweet voice of Lalitambika, the Saraswati's Kacchapi's voice, it became Vinirbhartsita. That means it outshined Kacchapi's Nadam. So Saraswati Mata is saying, Ambal's voice is oh so sweet. Just one word Ambal uttered. How did I even attempt to sing before Ambal's sweet voice? It felt like Ambal said, oh, you came to my sabha and dared to sing before the sweetness of my voice. So Saraswati Mata felt threatened hearing the sweetness of the voice of Ambal. See, that type of reaction. In reality, Ambal was actually very appreciative. Ambal did not said anything openly with any words. She didn't say your voice is like that. Anything. Ambal was in fact twice as happy to hear whatever Saraswati Devi said. But Saraswati Devi, hearing the Madhuryam of Ambal's voice, felt completely shy that she didn't play after that, and she closes the Veena Kacchapi, which is a very beautiful, sweet instrument, completely wanting to silence that. Ambal did not threaten, but that's how the Sallapa Sadhu Vachana Madhuryam made Saraswati feel. Saraswati Devi feels completely shy for even attempting to sing before Ambal. Here, Acharya portrays the magnanimity of two great artists. One side is Goddess Saraswati and the other side is Sri Lalitambika. Both of their magnanimity is portrayed here if you see. See, Saraswati Devi is adorning. How sweet Ambal's voice is. One word Ambal spoke. What is the one word that Ambal spoke? Sadhu Sadhu. Wow, sadhu sadhu. Yes, yes. You're playing so good. That is what Ambal said. That one word is being appreciated so much by Saraswati Devi that she feels that she should not play her veena anymore and feels very shy. This side, if you see, she Lalitambika, she's openly admiring Saraswati Devi saying, wow, wow, wow. I greatly appreciate what you're doing. Oh my God, this Veena Gana, aha. She's like nodding her head and she says, Sadhu, sadhu, wow, wow, wow. Right? So here Acharya portrays that each of them are openly admiring each other's mastery. That's the scene that is being portrayed before us. Ambal said sadhu sadhu, but Saraswati Devi is singing. Is this really for my Gana that Saraswati Devi, that Ambal said sadhu sadhu? Initially, Saraswati Mata thought that Ambal was appreciating and nodding her head for her Ganam and for her Kacchapi Veena. Now, Saraswati Mata is rethinking. Maybe it's not even for my Saraswati Ganam. The topic I sang, what did the topic that Saraswati Mata sang? The topic was on the most auspicious Parameshwara, isn't it? Vividam Apadanam Pashupate. The topic was on the various Leelas, Punya Charitam of Pashupati, Lord Parameshwara's Charitam. Ambal must have really said sadhu sadhu, wow, 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 for hearing Parameshwara's Charitam and not my Veena Gana, thinks Saraswati here. So Saraswati Mata immediately stops playing the Veena, but even after stopping the Veena, look how many strings are there in this Kacchapi Veena. We thought that, we heard that earlier. Kacchapi is a very special Veena that has thousands of strings, right? So even after stopping playing the Veena Nadam still keeps resonating. So that's called as Anuranam. The prolonged notes from the tantri, the strings, keeps reverberating even for a few seconds after we stop playing that. So for Veena, there is a cover. Immediately, Saraswati covers the Veena to stop that Anuranam, to like even now she has stopped. That means she has already stopped singing, right? In that shock of hearing that sweet Madhuryam voice, Saraswati Devi feels Vinibhartsitam. She feels very shy that she even attempted to sing before Sri Lalitambika. So immediately she stops singing, she stopped playing, but that Veena Nadam has prolonged notes, that sound comes, right? So Saraswati Devi explicitly closes the Veena, but she is doing it secretly by hiding it to imply that the concert is done. Why? Nichulayati cholena nibritam. She quietly hides her veena. Why? Because if she explicitly takes it and stops the Ganam, then Amba will say, why are you stopping the Ganam? Keep playing, right? And if she has to play, then she has to sing either. That would be even more embarrassing to Saraswati Mata because she cannot match the Madhuryam of Sri Lalitambika. So the Acharya says in this Saundarya Lahari Sloka that secretly Saraswati Devi covers the Veena. So Acharya brings before us such a dramatic scene in the Saundarya Lahari Shloka to describe the sweetness of Sri Lalitambika's Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vak. See, if that one Sahadu Vachanam, spoken word itself is so sweet, imagine how divine it would be if Ambal herself sang a song. That Madhuryam will be indescribable. So, this only implies that even for the Devi of Vak, Goddess Saraswati herself, there is a Mula Vak, an original source of Vak that is very melodious, and that is the Vak of Sri Lalitambika. In addition, in Sri Vidya Upasana, as we go higher and higher in our spiritual path, the sadhaka is believed to hear various sounds as we go through the various chakras, as we spiritually progress, go up in the various chakras. In the Upasana of Sri Vidya, the Bhashyam and various Pravachanam say that the Sri Vidya Upasaka hears various sounds. For example, like the Shankanatham. Shankanatham is the sound of the conch, the Shankam that Lord Vishnu holds, right? The Shankanatham, the Samudranatham. It is believed after you reach certain stage, after you cross certain chakras, you will hear the nada of Samudram, means the ocean waves. Nada will be heard by the sadhaka, it seems. We can, at one stage, we will even hear that very divine Omkaranatha, the primordial sound itself. And also it is believed that the sadhaka will hear the nadam of the musical instruments like that of the Veena nadam here. That is the importance of the Veena in this nama. See, Sri Lalitambika's Vak is even more melodious than that Veena nada. Hence, Vasinyadi Vak Devatas themselves, see, they are the Vak Devatas. That means they are the one that comes out of the throat of Sri Lalitambika as a Vak, right, to speak. They are the Devatas for that. They are the presiding Devatas of the Vak themselves. Now, they themselves have to describe the sweetness of how sweet it will be when that Vak comes out of Sri Lalitambika as Nija Sallapa Madhurya Vinibhartsita Kacchapi. That is this Nama. As next steps with Acharya's blessings, let's review the next Nama in Sri Lalita Sahasranama. Loka Samasta Shukino Bhavantu. Shri Matre Namaha. Thank you so much, everyone.